Hello, honey roses. Welcome to Milk Honey Rose. I am Mystic Alchemy. Thank you for being here. Okay, so I have a message for you all, and it's about loving individuals from a distance. Now, there's some individuals that you can love in close range, is what Spirit just said. However, there are individuals that you must love from a distance. Excuse the noise in the background if you hear it, because there's construction going on across the way. Okay, so there's a lot of new being built in the physical and in the spiritual, because there's literally a whole community being built where I am now, right up the street there. So that's not only happening around the world in different places physically, but it's also happening in the spirit, where there is new being built within us spiritually, as well as just within the collective. Okay, that's what's going on in the world right now. So it's important that we are able to understand where certain individuals are meant to be in your life, because everyone can't be around you when you are on a journey of moving away from who you used to be and walking into who you're meant to be. And Spirit is basically saying that Spirit doesn't want you to get bitter. Like, God doesn't want you to get bitter. The God in you doesn't want you to get bitter, because we know where that takes you, right? It brings you to a space of being very angry when you don't really need to be, being angry at people who don't deserve it, and creating conflict with those that are around you that may not have any bad intentions, because everybody around you, well, maybe for some of you, I can say that everyone around you is not out to get you. I also don't want you to think that. However, it's like Spirit wants you to engage with the truth a little more when it comes to, or a lot more, I should say, when it comes to what you see is what you get with relationships that you have. What you see is what you get. And I heard never forget that. Never forget that what you see is what you get. Not only what you see in the physical, but also what you see in the spirit. When you see glimpses of a person's truth that many times you may not notice, because they may try to hide it, because many people won't show every aspect of them, because they're not meant to automatically. Over time you get to know a person. However, some people want to portray themselves a certain way to be viewed a certain way. And every now and again, these individuals will show how they truly feel and how they truly are. Over time, it will just pop out, because the truth always comes to the light eventually, no matter how long it takes. So the reason why I feel Spirit is saying it's okay to love individuals from a distance and love them for the best in them, but it's like, if you know that their energy affects you in such a way where it's not healthy, you don't feel. It's almost like some individuals can cause you to be, or to feel, how can I say what I'm thinking? I'm hearing division. I'm hearing divided. Some people can make you feel disconnected from self. I think that's the best. That's what some people can make you feel disconnected from yourself, because they haven't truly accepted themselves yet for who they are. So because they haven't accepted themselves for who they are, they definitely don't want to experience you as one who accepts themselves. Because when you accept yourself for who you are, regardless of who that is, and you have chosen to move on a righteous path, your divine path, okay, your ethereal path. When you choose to walk that path, there's going to be many people that you used to be around that won't necessarily understand you, and they'll have a lot of questions, but it's not to understand, it's more to criticize. So when you're not around, they'll be at a round table talking about you in such a way, trying to defame you, because to them you're like famous, because they talk about you so much in such a negative way that you become the hot topic. And they may have a few good things to say, but these types of individuals, because they don't know themselves, they always look for a perfect opportunity to talk down on your name to others, so that they can almost like recruit other individuals to band with them to put you down. Okay, so these people could be very close to you. That's the hardest part about it. So once you get a glimpse of someone's truth with how they truly feel about you, and it can be very subtle, just know that, look, I love you for the good in you, but I can't be around you because you're distorted. There's something wrong. And it could be many things, but most of the time it's just the fact that they haven't accepted themselves for who they are. So when they see that you've accepted yourself, they'll want to tear you down. And when they want to tear you down, they don't want to see you get back up. They might speak words of upliftment. However, you won't necessarily believe it. Once your discernment gets strong, and I feel like for some of you, your discernment is very strong, you'll know when somebody really is proud, or you'll know when someone is really supporting you. You will know, because you'll pay attention to the past, you'll pay attention to the now, and then you can project possibilities in the future off the strength of how these same individuals treated you once before. If you felt uncomfortable around these individuals by how they treated you, and then hearing how they talk about you and seeing little things that they tried to hide, but you see everything, so they couldn't really hide it, you'll know how someone truly feels about you. Because some people could love you just off the strength of, or they could say that they love you, but they really don't like you. Okay, I think that's the best way to say it. Because you could have people in your life, it could be friends, it could be family, it could be anybody. It's just the energy. It's the spirit of the person. Someone's spirit could dislike you because their spirit is distorted. They haven't found their wholeness. When someone has not found their wholeness within self, they will feel divided. They will feel disconnected from themselves. They will feel disconnected from who they truly are, because they're really not walking that path, and then they're not taking the steps to do that work, to come to a point of appreciating every aspect of them, even their flaws. Because flaws are actually a part of our lessons. Things that aren't perfect, things that are not exactly what you want them to be within you, are actually the best part of you, because they're the truth in you, and there are lessons there. There are lessons in what you choose to dislike about yourself. And many times, if there are things that you don't like about yourself, those are the exact things that many will love about you. It's just hard to see that when you have been around so many individuals that find all types of reasons to throw salt on your name, or just put you down, or make you feel like you're not enough, or anything like that. Anything to, what's the word? I was gonna say take you off your pedestal, but it's more so of decrease your belief in oneself. And the crazy part about it is these ways that these individuals have towards you, they are like different methods of weakening you. This is the goal of these types of individuals. It is to weaken you to the point where you may feel so down about yourself that you don't want to keep going. is to weaken you. It's like, I always think about video game. I don't really play video games, but if I have like family members or someone around me playing it, sometimes I'll just watch. And if you do certain things, your energy weakens, especially like, okay, like fighting games. If you, like Mortal Kombat, I've played that before though, but if you hit, or every time you hit your opponent, their energy goes down. So these individuals are just like the opponent in these video games. They'll keep hitting you below the belt, saying little funny style things that make you look side-eyed, but then sometimes you could be so distracted with your current state of activity that you may just like let it slide, but it did bother you, right? But you let it slide, you let it rock out. You're like, oh, it's just nothing, I don't want to overthink it or make a scene because maybe they didn't mean it like that. And then you notice that that same type of energy is coming from this same group. These same individuals is just like taking shots. And eventually that could get to you if you don't speak up about it and you just keep letting it rock out, because then they think, oh, I could just treat you like a rag doll. Then I could just do anything and you'll let me do it, and then the more I see you feel some type of way, the more power I could take and siphon from you, right? And this happens in relationships, you know, with individuals who have that vampiric energy on them. This really comes from those who are broken. This is where this energy comes from, because these are from the individuals that have not done the work. Individuals that do the work, they're not going to be trying to affect people in such a way. They're not going to have a desire to, because they're going to know how that felt from others. They're going to know how that can affect someone in the long run. And individuals who have that leader spirit are going to want to bring up other leaders. They're not going to want to trample over individuals that they see as a leader, because they want to be at the top and they want to just squish everybody else. That is that's a tyrant. Like, you know, that's that tyrant energy where they want to be the only one that has power and they don't want to help others see their power. Okay. This is the energy that I'm getting. Many of you have dealt with people like this, and it has brought you way down, and it doesn't feel good. It actually hurts, because it's the people that you thought cared about you. You realize they're not even rocking with you like that. Hi, good morning. I'm recording, okay? I'll come talk to you in a minute. So, excuse me. Oh, yeah. So these individuals not supporting you when you never thought that would happen, it could really affect you in a negative way until you recognize the truth about them. Okay, so Spirit wants you to recognize the fact that many individuals that you have love for, because you've lived life with them, you've had experiences with them, you know, it's normal to have love. It's not normal to accept mistreatment though from those who are supposed to be loving you, because if you notice that you're loving them and they're only hurting you, that is when you must pay attention. Okay, you must pay attention, because it's for your health. See, that's something that's good for your health, to pay attention, because these individuals can really cause sickness, and they do all the time. Just think about the times where you were energetically and emotionally attacked by those who you thought loved you, and they thought that you didn't know, like they thought they were getting away with it. You know, think about all those times, and you saw everything. There's just times where you didn't say anything, and you were more so taken aback by the fact that this person actually treated you that way, playing in your face. What's really happening is they're disgraced by what they see in you, because they don't see it in themselves. And once you realize that, it's like you can't even really be mad, because you know this person just has work to do. They have healing to do. So until they recognize what's wrong within them, you must love these individuals from a distance, because there could still be aspects, excuse me with the horn beeping, there there still could be aspects of these individuals that creates or makes you feel like you have a love for them still, regardless of how they treated you. However, you must love them from a distance. You can still love people from a distance. Okay? And Spirit wants you to recognize that. Don't feel like you have to be around individuals that always second guess you and questioning you in a way to where it's almost like they don't want to believe in you, so they're looking for holes so that they can pry it open a little more so that you can fall inside of it. It's like it reminds me of someone, you know, I don't know if you've ever seen those movies with the traps in the forest, and there'll be like a big gaping hole, and they'll like throw some like foliage over it to make it look like grass, but if you step over it, your ass is grass and you're gonna go in that hole. Okay? Not even over it, you step on it and you'll think that it's flat ground, you'll think it's sturdy, but it's a hole and you can fall in it. This is what these individuals want to do to you, because they're looking for vulnerabilities. They're looking for something to talk about, looking for something that they could use against you to diminish all of the work that you've done on yourself, because they haven't done it. That's what it always goes back to. It always reverts back to the fact that the work that you have done, they have not done yet. So seeing you do it, it really makes them feel some type of way. However, it's not them. It's the spirit of confusion that is on them. It's the spirit of dismay, because they realize how much of their life that they didn't, how much of their life that they've used not to their advantage. That sentence sounded a little strange to me, but I hope you understood what I meant. They'll realize through looking at you that the decisions that they've made in their life were not to their advantage. The decisions that they made were to their disadvantage. The difference between you and them is that you sacrificed going out to party. You sacrificed your, I want to say carnality. You sacrificed your flesh, the desires of the flesh. You sacrificed that so that you could focus on your spirit, for many of you. And to be able to say that nowadays is a big thing, because that is a big destroyer for us, because we're so sexually active in society right now. Many people, not everybody, I'm saying we're, but I'm just talking from a collective standpoint. And there's nothing wrong with that. It's just many people aren't even responsible with it anymore. It's just everybody out there all willy-nilly. We're not realizing how much that really affects us on a spiritual level. And I think about this a lot because I see it so much, and I can see how it's so hurtful to the spirit and the soul, and how it really takes you away from the beauty within you, because you'll get so wrapped up into looking for the next person to lay down with, or hoping for the next person to lay down with, however you want to word it, it is what it is, that you get distracted from what God has for us, you know, or what God has for you. Now, because I feel like many of you have chosen to be celibate, you're not with anyone on that level right now, and that's actually a healthy choice, because the world this is a different type of world that we live in right now. This is not how it used to be, like in the 90s, in the early 90s, even though there were still, you know, similar situations going on. It's just different now, because the disease of demons and the actual disease, like health-wise, when it comes to all that jazz, is running rampant. And there's also a disease of the mind, because there's so much confusion in the world right now. And Spirit doesn't want you to feel bad. And that was just one example of the confusion. But Spirit doesn't want you to feel bad about things that you have done. The point is to learn from them, so that you don't catch yourself slipping. Forget about other people trying to call you out. They don't even matter. because people are always trying to do that. People love to call somebody out, but they'll never like focus on bettering themselves. They always talking about somebody else though, in such a way where, you know, it's not uplifting, it's not encouraging, it's not really teaching, it's more so of like targeting. And we're all living here on earth together. It's just so many people, instead of uplifting and encouraging, they just be tearing people apart and tearing people down, and not taking into consideration that golden rule. We all make mistakes. We all do things that aren't the best. However, it's like Spirit wants to make sure that you have understanding about people on their journey and how everyone is in a different phase in their spiritual journey. And you just so happen to be one that has gone farther than many that are around you. So that's why you feel like you're always targeted, because it's true. You're targeted because those around you actually see your difference. They see how different you are compared to them, and they see how far you've gone in life because you chose to sacrifice. And you could have chosen to sacrifice smoking, drinking, having multiple partners, and choosing to live in promiscuity. You could have, whatever it is, because we all have an area that we could work on. It's never like, I feel like we're never free and clear. I feel like we can always be better and we can always improve ourselves, but it's about seeing it, being real about it, and trying our best to improve ourselves just off the strength of, it's really about your soul and your spirit and the health and condition of that. Because we must remember, when we leave from this body, our spirit and soul is still there. That is what lives on. We have to remember that. Remember that. That's a big aspect of life. And this part of living life in the physical is just a part of a very long journey. So to consider your soul and your spirit in everything you do, that's one of the healthiest things that we could do for ourselves. But we were never taught that in school. You know how much disease and heartache and pain would have stopped if we were taught this aspect of us in school? Oh my, just think about that. To be taught about your soul and your spirit, that's a big deal. Because that soul's growth and that everything that we learn here on this earth, that stays with our consciousness. It stays with us. It's a part of, it is us. Our consciousness is us. That's why the mind is a terrible thing to waste, so they say, because it allows the access to the consciousness, the mind, the questions you have, the experiences you've had, the thoughts, everything. It is you. It is who you are. So to just tie it back around to the beginning, this is why it's okay to love from a distance. Don't feel like you have to continue to be mistreated by those who are supposed to love you, but instead of loving you, they're finding reasons to put you down because they're basically comparing themselves to you. And some people are strong enough within the spirit to actually be proud of you, even if they haven't reached where you've reached, because they're pure. They have a purity to them, and they're actually, when they say they're proud of you and they love you, they really do. There's nothing behind it that shows any means of maliciousness. Okay? And those are the people that you want in your life. Those are the people that are truly down for you. Those that pry around and just try to poke around to get information, and like, you could tell they're not really supportive of you. They just saying words that sound like it's hard for them to say. Sometimes certain people, you could tell it seems like it's difficult for them to say that they're happy for you, because you could feel it. You could feel it. And that's just because they're not feeling whole within themselves. So don't get angry at them. Just realize that you can't be around these types of people, no matter who they are. I don't care if it's your mama, your daddy. I don't care who it is. I don't care if it's your sister, your brother, your auntie, your uncle, okay? All right, and it doesn't matter. It's the spirit we're talking about. Pay attention to people's spirit and how they make you feel, because our our technology, we have technology as humans where we pick up on things. These gifts that spirit or that God has given us and bestowed us with, they're meant to be utilized for a reason. They're like indicators of what's wrong and what's right. And as soon as you follow that intuition in such a way, and you just feel people, you're just like, oh no, honey, I can't allow you to be around me because your energy is not right. And then you can't even communicate and connect to them on a certain level because they'll never understand what you're talking about. It'll always feel weird. And then sometimes they become disengaged because they're not where you are. They're not on your level to be able to communicate with them anymore, because you end up ascending outside of their frequency. Now, I'm telling you, it's not for everybody. I don't want to make you think that everybody that you talk to is like this, but it's up to you to be able to discern who is really for you and who is not. It's up to you. It's a practice that Spirit wants you to make sure that you have intact, in which many of you do, because this message is coming, I think, more so to tell you it's okay to love from a distance. It's okay to say no if you don't want to go. And that's anywhere. It's not anywhere in particular, but it's anywhere. If someone calls you and like, oh, you want to come to the club with me? If you're not feeling that, say no. It's okay to say no if you're not feeling it, because there's also something here about feeling obligated just off the strength of who certain people are to you. If they don't understand what you're saying and they can't rock with what you're saying, that means that they're not supportive of you. If they start talking to you and talking about you crazy because you are not in that mindset to be doing certain things, listen, then they don't understand you, then they don't need to be around you if they can't respect what it is that you need. Because there's times in life where it's best to be alone. It's just what it is. And if you have people around you that don't understand that and they try to put you down for your spiritual pathway and what spirit is guiding you to do, then they're not meant to be around you, because they don't get it. And most likely they're still stuck in the ways of the matrix. So don't allow these individuals to make you feel less than a person and less than who you truly are based on their projections and assumptions and what else? Their inability to understand you, because they're just not where you are. So love these individuals from a distance and continue on your journey, because Spirit is saying many of you need to hear this, because some of you feel like you have to be a certain way with these individuals and you don't. You could just show them that you love them, but if you feel like you need to separate yourself away from them just because their energy is sour, it's okay. It is okay. You are obligated to practice your will the way you choose to, however that is. Just in everything you do, think about your soul and your spirit, please, because I just feel like it's not talked about enough. And it's so important. It's more important than we know from what Spirit is saying. There's so much more. There's so much more life in us that we don't get to experience because we forget that we are living. However, all we see in life is death, which is very confusing. And Spirit is saying it's your choice. It's your choice, and it's your responsibility to be responsible for your soul and your spirit. Okay. Many activities that we do in life, we don't realize that it's because we're influenced, and it's not like good influence. Many times it's not good. So Spirit is saying that love for yourself will bring you the true happiness that is actually meant for you to experience, because the illusion is that if you do these things that you're influenced by unconsciously, it destroys you. It destroys the true happiness and the true ability to connect to individuals that are on your level. And you'll realize that there will be people coming at you just like trying to attack you and talking to you crazy and being disrespectful. And it's like Spirit is saying there's so much more to this message, and it keeps on like unfolding. I think that this is just the first part of it. But Spirit is saying the more that you focus on your soul and your spirit and nurturing it, the more that you'll have the ability to nurture others with just understanding them. The more that you understand individuals for who or for where they are in their spiritual journey, the more you'll be able to tolerate circumstances. Okay, that's what I'm getting with other individuals in your life. Now, tolerating circumstances just is the strength. It's not even tolerating it like, oh, I'm going to still deal with you. It's kind of like, it's either I could love you from a distance or I have to cut you off completely. Because if you are affecting my spiritual path, then I can't rock with you like that, because I have something I have to do while I'm here on this earth. And if you're affecting that in a negative way, you must go. It's that type of energy. Okay? Where you can still wish them well, if you feel like you can, dependent on who these individuals are. Because for some people there's no hope for them. And yeah, for some people, and it's sad to say, but some people will not get a chance to experience the fullness of their soul, because they'll be all wrapped up into these worldly things that only harm, which everything is not like that. But when it comes to the influence that has really interceded on some individuals' connection with themselves, that's when it's bad. Because when you disconnect from yourself, you disconnect from your truth. When you disconnect from the truth, you disconnect from the God in you. And that is your true happiness. That's where your true peace and love and tranquility, that's where all the goodness resides. That's where your joy resides. And this is what this whole message is about, really. It's really about making sure you connect to the God in you. And the way you do that, well, one of the ways is to ensure that you don't create this bitterness within you from what people have done to you in your life. You just must know that you have entered into a different frequency, and they're still in a lower frequency. So then you can't communicate with them the same way, because they won't understand you anymore, and there'll be a disconnect between them. But that's for a reason. It's because you've outgrown them. And it's not even like a funny style thing. It's not even trying to like, it is what it is. It's just, it is what it is. And that's how it is. And Spirit just wants to tell you that there's nothing wrong with disconnecting from those who just aren't aligned with you anymore. It's okay. Okay, so don't feel bad about that. Just let it be what it is. And you don't have to feel bad about expressing that if you need to. I mean, you don't have to be harsh about it. But you could just be like, look, this the things that you're into, I'm not into that anymore. So it's hard for me to connect with you, because I feel like you don't really understand me, or that like I feel like I'm being what's the word? I feel like I'm being attacked, targeted, if I don't want to do what you want to do. And then you don't even, if I'm around you while you're doing what you want to do and I don't want to do it, then you'll talk down on me because you want me to go backwards and I'm going forward. You see, there's a disconnect. So just remember that as you move, and remember that the soul and the spirit is what's most important. And when you align with yourself with such truth, then Spirit will bring your true soul family to you like a magnet, or you will end up with them like a magnet, because that's those are the individuals that will understand you. You can't be around people that you can't trust and don't understand, or that don't understand you and don't trust you off the strength of you improving yourself and being a better version of you. If you're improving yourself and that's your focus, and you got people around you trying to talk down about you for the change in you, that's not your people. I don't care who they are to you. They just not your people no more. That's just what it is. Okay? We could just, look, keep it simple. You don't even got to make it hard. Keep it simple. Okay? Everything you do it with love. If you need anything from me, visit www.milkhoneyrose.org to book a healthy conversation, or to book a reading, or purchase any of my books from me. You can also join the membership program just to support me and my channel. I appreciate you. Sending my love to you, and I'll see you in the next one.